What's going on? This is Coach DeArmond Washington with WEA Washington Elite Athletics. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the share button. Now let's talk about it. Today we're going to talk about the transfer portal and how it's affecting high school kids and what high school kids need to do now to kind of readjust the process of getting recruited. Now you got the transfer portal that's open up, that's allowing these FBS, FCS, D2 players, everybody can transfer. Play 4 games in the season, you stop there, you still keep your year eligibility, then you can transfer out. Or at the end of the season, you can transfer. How it's affecting high school kids? It's affecting high school kids because coaches' contracts are like 3 or 4 years. That is on a win now, kind of build while you're trying to win now mentality. You got these FBS players. FBS mean those Power 5 big schools. And then you have FCS, which back in the day it was D1 and the D1 AA. You got the bowl, and then you got the college playoff series. That's the difference. We're talking FBS, Power 5 and up. FBS players that are going to these schools, not liking their program for whatever reason, maybe not been a good fit. Maybe they're not going to get on the field or whatever. They transferring out. Either they're going lateral to another FBS school, Power 5 school, or they're transferring down to FCS, D1 AA back in the day. They're transferring down to FCS. Or some of them are transferring down to Division 2. How does that affect the high school player? That affects the high school player because the coach, normally they bring in maybe 5 to 6 high school kids. With this transfer portal, they're bringing in like maybe 1 or 2 high school kids, 3 maybe. And they're supplementing those kids with these transfer kids. And these transfer kids are kids who've been in college maybe a year or 2 or 3. Has the size, been in the weight room, has that size, has the experience of playing, and it's like ready-made. Versus some high school kids, you got to get him in there, get him coached up, get him in the weight room, get him some playing time so he can be ready. Now they're bringing in kids already ready to go. They're ready to go. They are ready to go right now and play. That has dramatically affected high school kids getting recruited. Coach may need 4 linemen. He's probably going to bring in all transfer kids. 2 with 2 years or more eligibility. Already ready-made, ready to go, have the size, the knowledge, and ready to go. It has dramatically affected the recruiting for high school kids because they're not taking as many high school kids as they normally would have back in the day. The game has changed. They're getting kids constantly transferring in, leaving programs, moving lateral or moving down. So that has affected high school recruiting. So now high school recruits, we're going to have to change the game. Parents, some parents are still not understanding what's going on, still stuck in, he's D1. If you're D1, like I tell some people, kids that playing D1, they're not chasing D1 schools. D1 schools are chasing them. If you're in that Power 5 level, they are looking for you. You're not really looking for them. They are contacting you. If you're in the season, your junior, senior year, you talking about you want your son to play Power 5, and he hasn't been contacted by any Power 5 coaches or FBS coaches, most likely he's not an FBS guy. Not to say he can't get there and play, but as of right now, he's not an FBS guy. He's not. They're not contacting him. You're contacting them, chasing them. Those guys who's getting those scholarships, they're not operating like that. They're not. They're getting contacted multiple schools with the offers. They're not chasing. So you got to be aware of what level your kid is on. You got to be honest of what level he's on. And even you have some kids that fit the Power 5 look, but they're not getting recruited. They lack something in the skill set. They lack. All this is coming in play. And with these scholarships now, with that portal and everything, if you're lacking, your skill set is not up to a certain standards, you're lacking. They're gonna move on to the transfer guy who has all those intangibles. Now, the high school kids, what the high school kids need to do? They need to change the mentality of scholarships. You got a lot of kids getting offers. I think a lot of kids chase more offers than really want to play. They just want to get the offers. In this new game of recruitment, you cannot sit on 10 offers unless you're that guy. That guy. If you're getting the offer from a school, they're offering you its interest. They're putting the money on the table, as I like to say. You need to be signing instead of trying to figure out we'll wait on something else. Hey, it's not going to be anything else in the end to wait on, especially you're a high school kid. If you're getting recruited, they're putting that money on the table to bring you in. You got to be smart and take the money. You might, a couple of years ago, you might have been a D1 guy. Now, most likely you might not. And there's nothing wrong with playing D2 ball. Kids knocking D2 ball. When you was asking the man above for a scholarship, were you clear on what scholarship you were asking for? Were you real direct in saying, I want a D1 offer or I want to offer to play football? Most likely 95% of y'all were asking for a scholarship. And you get blessed with the scholarship and now you don't want it. It's beneath you. You got to take the offers that are presented to you. Parents, you got to be smart. Take the offer that's presented to you, the money on the table. Take that offer. Stop waiting and looking for offers. If it's interest and it fits your financial situation, however they package the deal, it works for you and your family. Take the offer. Stop waiting on the next school. It's not like it was 4 or 5 years ago. Take your offer. Be happy with it. Now, also, with that being said in the portal, if you a kid that's really playing, you're on the field playing, hey, you got Power 5s now reaching down to D2s, bringing kids up. So it's an opportunity if you play well to get called up. You can get in that portal and move up to FCS or FBS. It's working both ways now. But it still is affecting the high school kid. It's working both ways. You might have to go to a FCS or a Division II school to start your career, play a year or two, and then you could be moved up to FBS, the Power 5 level. But parents, you got to be smart about how you're moving and taking these scholarships. You can't just keep putting people on the back burner now because it might not be a scholarship available. Even D2s are taking a lot of transfer kids right now that are ready to go. People trying to keep their jobs. So that's a big problem. And high school coaches need to be honest with these kids and let them be aware of what's going on in the situation with the world of recruitment. Trainers, you can't keep pumping that juice into them. You got to be serious. What else can we do? Like the camps. WA, we put on prospect camps and we help kids with recruitment. I'm thinking, I know I'm going to have to do it. It's just the way I'm camping to make it fair to these high school kids, getting the best opportunity of getting a look and an offer. We have our own workout facility called the Footwork Factory. We're really going to get that going this summer to help kids out. Instead of, we do our large, big camps. We do that every year. But we're going to put on more small, intimate camps this summer at the Footwork Factory. Have college coaches working the camp. And sometimes just have the coaches showing up to the camps. But more small, intimate camps with 20 players. More small, to get them more looks and to get them one-on-one with the coach right then and there in a smaller environment, in a smaller setting. We have to adjust as well. It's a different game. Like one of my guys, last guy off the board, Cleveland Graham over there at Butler, 6'3", like 275, ready to go. He should have been off the board. But with this transfer portal and what kids are looking for, what these coaches are looking for, these recruits, with these linemen, I know it affected his recruitment. That's an example. And that guy should have been off the board months ago. But he's off the board. He's been offered a great opportunity to play. at the University of Charleston, a powerhouse school. So that worked into his advantage. He's getting recruited by a D2 powerhouse. That worked to his advantage. Also, by him getting that offer from the University of Charleston, that's going to up more scholarships for Graham. More people going to be looking at who's Graham. They're going to be more people going to come in and offer. He should have been off the board, but with this day of transfer portals, it's affecting kids, and I'm using Graham as an example. So we got to be smart about how we moving nowadays. I like prospect camps. I like going to the big camps. You can compare yourself to the kids in your age group. You can look at kids who's older, and you can kind of measure yourself of where you need to be when you get to be a senior or a junior, or where you are now. I like that. But knowing that these Power 5s, FBSs are not taking that many high school kids, it'd be wise to hit up lower level divisions like FCS. Those are like the Gardner Webbs, the North Carolina Centrals, the Richmonds. Hit those. And even with them, they're D1, so they're still looking for the same type kids as the Power 5s. But check out their camps. Go to the D2s, the smaller schools. Go to their camps. Just don't spend your whole summer trying to go to these big schools. No, you got to be smart about this nowadays. You need to hit these lower, smaller conferences, these D2s, check them out. And also, some kids, you might have to go the prep school route. And if you are qualified, NCAA qualified, which means you have the grades, you're already ready, prepared to be NCAA eligible, you might need to go to a prep school. And you're only going for 3 months to get that post-grad play in, to show you can play with older kids, you played well, you did well, then you can get recruited for the second semester and come into a school and get ready for spring ball. That's another route. Another route is going JUCO. If you're a qualifier, you only have to go if you're a qualifier for a semester. Then you can leave after that semester and go into a university on getting offered. You can go in that way and get ready for spring ball. It's different ways of doing it now. It's just you have to find the route that you want to take. Prep schools is going to be more of an option. I'm guaranteeing you that. JUCO is going to be more of an option with these high school kids not getting these offers. And the best way to help yourself in these situations, if you're going to go prep or JUCO, you need to have your grades intact and be an NCAA qualifier. You need to have your grades intact. So you did get a scholarship coming out of high school. What they're saying is you're qualified to be eligible to play. You need to go to prep schools and JUCO ready to play. Academically, NCAA qualified. That way you do not have to be at a JUCO for 2 years or a year. Prep school, 1 semester. That semester you're going to play ball. And then the next semester, you're off in college. Get ready for spring ball. Those are options on the table, and that's going to be the new wave of high school kids. People don't want to hear it, but with less scholarships being offered, you're going to have to find a way to get your post-high school play in to be marketable to these schools. And that's going to be through prep and JUCO. Unless you're going to just walk on, that's going to be the third option, walking on. And that's at the FBS level, FCS level, and the D2 level. Are you going to be able to walk on? Even D3s, it's some great D3s out there. People knock D3s. They're more expensive, but it's some great D3s out there. Offering funds so you can live your dream of playing football, use your film to your advantage, and transfer out and move up if you have to do it. That's what's going on with high school kids now. The situation you guys are facing with the transfer portal. What's the new process of getting you a scholarship if you didn't receive a scholarship? Because it's less scholarships for high school kids. It's less. You might have to play D2, D3, JUCO or prep. There's nothing wrong with it. Use it to your advantage. And if you're an NCAA qualifier, 1 semester at JUCO and prep. that'll get you where you need to be. Parents got to get with the program, got to get knowledgeable of what's going on. The coaches, high school coaches, need to be talking to these parents and keeping it totally honest about that situation, because it's hard for high school kids now to get offers. It is. Some are getting offers, but a couple years ago, you may have got a bigger offer. Nowadays, that transfer portal kid is going to eat up that scholarship, and that's what's going to happen. Also, a lot of problems. I'm moving into something else. Academics. A lot of kids think they're going to play their way into that scholarship regardless of their grades. It's not 1980s. It's not going to happen. You might be a great player on that field, and the coach come to look at you, ask your coach about your grades. You don't have the grades. They're not taking risk like that anymore. That's their jobs. They're not taking risk on risky academic kids like that anymore. Because if you didn't do it in your 4 years of high school, what makes you think you're going to start doing it when you get to college? Parents, you paying for trainers. You own the coach's ass. It's everybody else's fault except for your child. You have to take care of academics nowadays. I know a lot of kids, they're balling on that field. They're balling in that classroom, over 3.0 grade averages, great SAT or ACT scores, and great off the field. And still, some of these kids are still struggling to find offers. You have to have the complete package. Balling on the field, your academics, and how you proceed off the field. Parents, you have to stay on your athletes about their grades. Their grades, you got to stay on it. There's no more playing your way into that scholarship, or they're going to look over that and take them. No, they're not. They're going to go on that portal and get a kid who's already doing good in school, already playing the game. They're going to put the money on him. So we got to stay on the athletes about their grades, performance, off the field performance, and everything. Because they look at social media, they look at everything. They're going to go to your high school coach, ask what his grades look like. That's the first thing they're going to ask, what his grades look like. You don't got the grades, you're not getting in. And then that's it. That's end of the career. I mean, that's end. You're going to have to probably go to the JUCOs and preps to fix your academics when you can fix them now. You got 4 years to work on it. Everybody can get a bad year. It's what you do after that bad year. That's what they looking at. What you doing? What you doing after that? So this portal thing has really put a damper with these high school kids. We got to change the process of how we're trying to get kids in school now, how we're looking at it, what other options are out there. I listed a couple options. What couple options are out there, how we have to change the process. Trust the process, but the process is going to have to be changed too, and everybody's going to have to be enlightened on what's going on out here. Parents are going to have to start really listening and getting more in grassroots of what's going on with your athlete. Like, hey, like I said, let's go check out some smaller schools. Not all FBS camps. Let's hit some smaller schools, show them some love, show them some interest, and that might be the route you have to take to get your kid in school. Grades, stay on the grades, and that off the field behavior, man, because there's a lot of kids out here off the field, bro. Hey, they off the hook, but they social media. I see it with the middle school kids I talk to. That social media can be a fool, man. You got to tighten that up and clean that up. You got to tighten and clean that up. But I hate this has happened to the high school kids who just transfer a portal. I think they're going to have to do something about it in a minute, because it's just killing the high school game. And then eventually, if it keeps on like this, why would a kid keep wanting to play football when he know, hey, they ain't going to take for certain kids? I can play the game. I know I can. Why keep playing? I can go do something else. And a lot of people don't even talk about the stress that goes on with these high school athletes. They don't talk about it, but a lot of these athletes, man, they know they can play. The ones who know they can play and they feel they ain't getting no love. Some of these kids are getting stressed out. They don't talk about it, but trying to get this scholarship offer has really caused a lot of kids, man, they really be stressed out, like drained, like, and at the end, they don't want to play anymore. I'm putting all this work in. Ain't nobody looking at me. I'm stressed. I'm looking at a kid at another school. I'm right there with him or beyond him, and he's got the offer. I haven't. I have all my things together. I seen it with a lot of kids, man. Parents talk to your kids. Have that conversation. Coaches talk to your kids. A lot of these kids are stressed out, man. That pressure is on them from all them years to do right, trust the process, and they trust that process. And at the end, they ain't getting nothing out of it, man. These kids are, like I say, stressed out, depressed. That mental health is big in sports, man. So be aware of that, parents and coaches. Athletes, too, be aware of that. Just trust the process. Sit back and trust it. It's not your fault. You can't do anything about it. It's not your fault. But keep your mental together, though. Trust the process. It'll happen. It will happen. Just trust the process. It'll happen. Talk to somebody. Kind of take that stress off. Don't put that burden on yourself about these scholarships, man. You will lose your mind waiting on that scholarship or letting that shit stress you every day. You will lose your mind. So we got to be more aware of that with the mental health part of the game, too. We're going to take a break. We're going to talk about Washington Elite Athletics recruiting and scouting service. It's a little commercial I do. We're going to talk about WEA. Who is WEA? Washington Elite Athletics. They are a recruiting and scouting service company. They help athletes get scholarships, take your huddle and your information, send it on to a boatload of coaches we have in our index. We're sending information out to all these coaches about kids directly to the coaches. That's our recruiting and scouting service. Also, we put on prospect camps. We have a big prospect camp we do once a year, and then we have smaller prospect camps we host at the Footwork Factory, our training facility. To hear more about that, go to wacamps.com. Again, check out wacamps.com to hear more information about our recruiting and scouting service and our prospect camps. Now, let's get back to this transfer portal. Then I'm looking at the portal today. We got kids on their second transfer. I think it's the Oklahoma State quarterback. Now he's going to Florida State. He's on his second transfer. How many transfers can you be given, man? I mean, it's getting out of hand with this portal. We got to do something about it. You got kids on their second transfer, meaning they're going to that third university. And the high school kids can't even get in to a university to play. And you got players moving on to that third college. We have to take care of that. I ain't hating, but that has to be addressed so we can help these younger kids get through the door and they can make their decisions. Tighten up the work. I'm gonna keep talking about that. Tighten up your academics. You gotta have everything in order to help yourself. Now let's move on to the middle school kids. Middle school kids, you got to get your grades together so now you could be eligible to play your ninth grade year. Your slate is going to be clean academically. Clean that up and stay on top of your grades, man. Y'all kids need to stay on top of your grades. I see that all the time in middle school. Kids are not doing well with their academics. We tell them year after year. We tell them the 7th grade year, hey, man, next year you're going to be up under the academic part of the game. If you don't take care of your work, you won't be eligible to play. A lot of these middle school kids, they really don't, they don't understand that. Then 8th grade year, here they go. They ain't eligible to play because they didn't take care of their academics. That second semester of their 7th grade year, and here it is, the 8th grade year, they're unable to play. And the same thing happens in the first semester. You don't take care of your work in that first semester, you're unable to play the spring sports. So young athletes, you got to take care of your grades, man, and do what you need to do. And you guys now need to start doing more training too and getting in shape. You need to get you a trainer or work out with someone. You guys, the game has changed. Coaches are looking for ready-made athletes nowadays. I think a lot of coaches do not like to do the coaching up. They're looking for ready-made athletes, and you young middle school guys need to start getting yourself ready. Maybe playing on 7-on-7, doing some of that. Getting you a positional trainer, some type of trainer, work with you on your skill set, or just getting a personal trainer, working on getting in shape and getting your body right for the next year. Because you can't be the best middle school player just showing up when school starts, making the team on the tryout, and then moving on. You have to get some type of work done this summer. You got to work out this summer. You have to do some 7-on-7, some track, some individual work. You have to do that all summer. You can't start the season like, oh, I'm going to get a trainer. It's too late. That part of the game needs to be taken care of. What is it? January now. You need to start working out in February, March. Running track. After track, doing some 7-on-7, doing your track. Over the summer, running, getting yourself in some type of conditioning, some type of good shape. That's all athletes. Getting in shape, you middle school guys. Getting in shape, getting yourself together so you can have a great middle school season and then get ready to move on to the high school season. We got to start that. And a lot of middle school coaches now, we're on that now. They're allowing us to work these kids out in the summer. We do it for free, allowing them to come out, work out, get in shape, work on some positional work on some speed and agility, do some 7-on-7. You have to do this now in middle school, especially in Charlotte. You want to win, man. You got to be out in the summer working out with your kids. And not just your kids. WA, we let everybody work out. We working everybody. You want to work out, get in shape? Come on. Come to the sessions. Work out, get in shape. We do that all summer, we started last year, June and August. But this upcoming year, 24, I want to do it. July and August. This summer, I want to start 7-on-7 with some of my middle school kids, like in March and April. Do that and then move on to workouts, speed and agility, maybe in June, positional work in July, and positional work July and August. Do a lot of positional work with them for 2 months, and speed and agility with them for a month, so we can cover all bases. Get their footwork together, get that part together, speed and footwork, then move on to some positional work, understanding the position they're going to play, and do more positional work. Then you can bring other people in, do 7-on-7, do team stuff. So that's what we're looking to do on that middle school level, to get those kids ready for high school, and then from there start prepping them from middle school to high school, and getting them prepped to make it to the next level and what's expected of them to play on that next level. So there's a lot of youth coaches. Shout out to Keith Booker over there. He got, I think, the OC job at J.M. Alexander. That's a good program. I think he got the OC job over there. We're looking for more youth coaches to join these middle school staffs, man. Middle school ball is on the rise. It's looking good. We just need more quality coaches coming out and helping out and making these middle schools a success. Now we got the playoffs going, and we're playing for a championship. We just need more good coaches to come out and help bring your expertise to these kids, so we can make this Charlotte football down here, we can make it much better. But shout out to all the athletes who receive scholarships and are still waiting. Your time will come. Just trust that process. Somebody will pick you up, even if you have to take a PWO, preferred walk-on. If it's your school of choice, take that PWO, man. Go prove yourself if you got to. Because it's going to come down to some athletes, you might not get a scholarship. What are you going to do? You still want to fulfill that dream? If you're offered a PWO, hey, take the PWO. If you're offered nothing, don't give up on the dream. Like I say, go prep, go JUCO, or reach out to a school that you've already been admitted. Reach out to that staff and say, hey, if it's an opportunity for me to walk on to be a part of the team, I would like to do that, because they do have tryouts in college before the season or in the summer. They do offer tryouts. So that is another opportunity for you to get better and get on the team and live out that dream. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share what you heard today. This is Coach D'Armond Washington. Let's talk about it. Have a good one.